Good morning, dear students. Today's topic is about the narration, mainly about how to write the third-person narration. And anyway, at the beginning of our presentation, I want to speak about first and second narrations also, second-person narrations also. So here you can see the some explanations, shortened and very clear explanation for first-person narration. So, narration is a kind of story which is told by the author in the form of the first or second or the third person narrations. So, if the narration is told by the first person, in that case, the storyteller is used I or we. It means the narration is involved, the narrator is involved in the story. This means the author tells exactly what happened, and the author itself lives in the story. And first person narration, the storyteller tells me or mine. For example, I went to the store with my friend. The clerk said, "Hi." We bought candy and left. Here, the first person is a storyteller and narrator is telling the story by himself or herself. In the second person narration, the author used the pronoun you. In that case, the story characteristic, if any, that means you, that the reader is a kind of character in the story. In that case, the reader's actions are narrated. For example, you stayed up late last night and now you are tired, but you need to pass this class. And in the second person narration, the perspectives of you is narrated. It's mainly used for instructions or directions, but not exactly the story which we had happened in the past. And therefore, the readers come across mainly the first and the second person, third person narrations. If the narration is told by the second person, in that case it can be the instruction or direction story. So here you can see the third person narration. The story is told by the third person narration, and in this kind of narration the author does not involve it. This means that the narrator is outside of the story. So in the third person narration, the author tells his or her story. Also will refer to characters by name. For example, Chris loved basketball. Everybody he played after school. When it got dark, he watched it on TV. From whose perspective is this story told? You can ask. This means that as an answer, you can say that it's a third person narration because the author is used he or she. So, what's the difference between the dialogue and narration? So, dialogue is used when the characters speak, and narration just is the story is told by the author. For example, I went home. My mom said, "Did you get out early?" I said no. In that position, just you should say that it's a first person narration. Here you can see you or he or she, but it's the whole story is told by the author. You see here, I went home, like that. So, review. Let's say in a shortened version. So narrations can be the first, second, and third person narrations, and the first person narrator tells the story of I, and in the second person narrator tells the story of you, and in the third person tells the story of he or she. So here I want to I want to ask from you that remember that the story, if the story is told with the pronoun I, it's the first person. I am the first person in the story. If the story uses you, the pronoun you can say that you are the second person narration. And in the third one, he and she is tells you that this narration is a third person narration. So here are some examples to remember that you must know who is narrating the story, and the person narrating the story influences the amount of information you, the reader, obtains. Think about the character Anna in Red Sky in the Morning. Look at the first 2 pages of the books. Is Anna always right? You have just used your reader's perspective. So, thank you for your attention. That is all. If you have any questions, feel free on the model. Thank you.